Hi, my name is Mary Ann Barnett, and I am the transition coordinator for the Wisconsin Educational Services Program for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Outreach. Thank you for watching this segment of our virtual job fair. Today, I have the honor and privilege of introducing my work colleague, Heidi Hollenberger, who is going to interview our guest today. Take it away, Heidi.
Hello, I'm Heidi Hollenberger. I am the Diagnostic Educational Consultant for Outreach, and it is my pleasure to have Anna Marie here today with Plastic Ingenuity. So I just introduced you, but Anna Marie, I'm going to let you introduce yourself however you want to.
Well, she's given away my whole story, but I am Marie Shanahan with Plastic Ingenuity. We are a manufacturer of plastic packaging with about 550 team members in Dane County.
And what is your role, your position within Plastic Ingenuity?
So I am the Director of Human Resources. So I am responsible for overseeing staffing, training, introduction of new team members, benefits, and compensation.
And how long have you been in your current position?
My current role, I have been about 14 years. I have actually been with Plastic Ingenuity for 28.
Which later on will tell us when we get to the question that asks if there is an opportunity for advancement. I think you already have sort of alluded to that a little bit. So
Yes.
If you can give a little bit of a history about Plastic Ingenuity, where did it begin? Where is the headquarters city? Something that the company is known for?
Sure. So we began actually in a storage garage in Madison. Our owner had a lot of ambition, a good set of friends for some free labor, and no customers. So once he was able to get that first customer, serving our customer became something that is critical still today, and also treating our team members well. Those are our key components to the success. We have almost 700 people. We have about 550 in Dane County, Wisconsin. Then we also have two smaller plants. One is located near Raleigh-Durham in North Carolina, and then the other is located very close to Little Rock, Arkansas.
And so, and Plastic Ingenuity started, you said, in this the small warehouse in Madison. And so it was started by the Keene family.
Yes,
and
Joe
so does,
Keene. Mm-hmm.
And so does the Keene family still, I know that Joe's not around anymore, but does the family still own Plastic Ingenuity?
Most definitely. Tom Keene has been our president for 26 years. And while he will soon be doing some retiring, we look forward to our next generation, Daniel Keene, who will be taking over the responsibility of the helm. And Daniel himself has been, Dan has been with the company for 10 years.
Yeah, I love that. I love that it's just this little family oriented company. And would you say that how the entire company is driven? Is it pretty, does it feel like a family? Is that sort of a mission of the company, of employees?
It does feel, we want to have a place where people feel as though they're treated fairly and compensated fairly. And so, family has a lot of influence as far as that family feeling. There's a lot of influence as such. Really, it's just a matter of finding a respectful workplace and finding team members who fit well into their roles here.
And so how would somebody go about finding a job opportunity with Plastic Ingenuity? And I'm going to call it PI for short, because I know that that's what we call it, is PI, and that will help with our interpreter also. Because I should make her call it one more. Should I have her spell it one more time? Plastic Ingenuity. So PI.
PI.
So for people who are looking for employment with PI, would they call? Would they go online? Do they go to a specific websites like Indeed, for example? How would they find job openings?
So the easiest way, and we actually have an alert for future openings that you can sign up for at jobs.plasticingenuity.com. At that website, it will display our current openings and also allow someone to be able to apply from that site.
So your applications are online versus, do you guys have paper applications? Is there a place for people to stop in and pick up a paper application?
The online is much preferred, but they still can get an application at our front desks, either at 1017 Park Street in Cross Plains or at 20 Industrial Drive in Mazomanie.
And so when somebody applies for a job and then they're called for an interview, I know in the world of COVID, almost everything is done virtually now. Has that process been true for PI as well? Have you maybe not had interviews during COVID? How has that looked for you guys?
So we have hired plenty of people during COVID. We still do have people come into the plant to make sure that the experience is going to fit them, but we do appropriate social distancing and interaction with an individual as needed. We have also added video interviewing capability within the last 2 months.
Yeah, I don't think this video piece is going to go away. I think it's sort of the silver lining for a lot of people and a lot of companies.
It made video conferencing a necessity, and it made easy video conferencing a necessity.
So what kind of positions does PI accept applications for? So what kind of positions are within the company?
So our entry-level role in one department is called an inspector packer. And what an inspector packer does is they, as the parts are advancing, it's all a forward moving process based on a sheet of plastic being advanced toward the inspector packer. The parts are formed and then they're able to be picked out of after they've been formed and trimmed, stacked, and then placed into a box for the customer's use. So while that is our entry-level role, is a very critical role because the next person who opens that box is our customer. So that is one role. We also have openings in our extrusion area. Extrusion is the plastic forming that takes pellets and color and an additive potentially and forms it into a sheet. So at that entry level for extrusion, which is aptly named extrusion entry level, they are learning to, they refer to it as dial in their sheet, which means get their machine running, get their material to the right thickness, to the right width, and to be able to have that be good sheet or roll stock is another word they might use, to be able to then be used in the thermoforming process, which I referred to just a couple minutes ago. So those are our entry level roles. Currently, we also have warehouse roles. And this summer we'll have opportunities for college age students to be able to come in and do that inspector packer role.
So you're talking about these different positions. And so what is something that you make that people might recognize or not even know where it came from and say, oh, I know that, I've seen that before?
So at one point in time, when the pay-as-you-go cell phone market was building, we were making one of every 3 trays for phones that were distributed in that manner. We still have quite a bit of influence in that market, although the market is smaller now. We do quite a number of drink lids for companies that distribute all over the United States. We have a lot of battery packaging that we do, a lot of food service containers, snack packs, salads, quite a variety of things that if I walk through the grocery store with you, you might get tired of me telling you we make that.
So do I get to blame PI on Christmas gifts that I can't open? No.
No, you still have to blame the people responsible for that, and that's the people who steal merchandise.
Oh, but do you guys make that packaging?
We will make it. We don't heat seal it here. Generally, that's the manufacturer who fills it and then has to heat seal it based on theft prevention.
Yeah, those it's every morning for Christmas morning we're pulling out. So everyone has to have a scissors because
Absolutely.
it's
Yeah.
impossible to open.
Yeah.
So, what are your company rules regarding dress code? Do you have uniforms, hairnets, casual? How does that work?
So we do, in any of our production facilities, you do have to wear safety glasses as well as hearing protection. Hairnets are required through any of our facilities. We do provide PI shirts with a team member's name on them, although they are not required each day. Generally, that's the extent of the required uniform. On certain picking areas, they are required to wear a white coat, which limits the amount of lint and dust transmitted when they have a clean white coat on in the process. Many of our team members on the jobs they pick are required to wear plastic gloves, non-latex. We provide all of those. In our medical clean room areas, they're additionally required to wear booties to cover their shoes that they wear. They do have to wear steel-toed shoes as a safety, as a precaution.
And so, so they wear the t-shirt that has their name on them. Do you allow, let's say you said they don't always have to wear them. They don't have to wear them every day. So are they allowed to wear like hoodies or tank
Hoodies,
tops?
no. Hoodies are actually, there's no jewelry. You can't wear jewelry in production. And the hoodies are, we would prefer to not have those strings so as to prevent a safety hazard. Although the machinery is well guarded, we like to remove the potential for those situations. Generally a t-shirt and jeans. If you see someone in something other than their PI shirts that we've provided for them, they're generally wearing a t-shirt and jeans.
And so what happens if the employees don't adhere to company policies? Do you guys have a 3 strikes you're out, a 1 strike you're out? Because it sounds like a lot of it is around safety.
Our focus definitely is around safety. There's typically we try to work with a team member to see what the root cause of the issue that's occurring might be. There are a few things that if it is willful disregard for a safety issue or theft, those situations, that would be a much quicker exit plan.
Sure. So cell phones, we're in the world of cell phones. And as you get some of the entry level positions, you have people there that have been there for a long time, but oftentimes entry level ends up being new hires, like the younger, either individuals choosing either not looking at post-secondary immediately or not choosing to go to post-secondary at all. And so they're all tethered to a cell phone. Do you have a cell phone policy?
We do have a cell phone policy, and cell phones do need to be put away in their locker, their personal storage locker, or not brought into the building. So they can look at them when they're on break, but the work that we do isn't conducive to having a cell phone hooked to them.
Sure. And so how do individuals clock in and clock out for their
Mhm.
workday?
Yep. We actually have we have physical time clocks that use our key fobs for entrance. So our key fob lets us into the door, and then subsequently they scan that fob to be able to be punched in.
And it's the same when they leave at the end of the day, they scan it to leave.
Correct.
So sick days, holidays, vacation, time off, is that something that you offer even to your entry level positions?
So after someone has worked with us, they are given 40 for 6 months. They are given 40 hours of vacation that they can use. After a year, they receive another 40 hours of vacation, but then additionally, they receive most of our entry level hires are on our second or third shifts. And so on our second or third shifts, they also qualify for something called night hours. And that is to enable some normalcy of being available for maybe their family events that are scheduled in the evening or at night. And so that's a flexible paid time off policy, which allows them to be able to schedule. After someone has been with us for 2 years, they have 80 hours of paid time off, but then if they work second and third shift, they have an additional 60 night hours. So after 2 years of working with PI, they would have 3.5 weeks of vacation.
That's nice
Essentially.
that they have that, because that again sort of encompasses that family is important.
And flexibility. We understand people have things that they don't want to miss, and well planned, they don't have to. So in addition to the night hours, for working on second or third shift, we also pay $1 shift differential for full-time people. So in addition to their starting rate, they would have an $1 per hour for working hours at night.
And are you a Monday through Friday operation, or are you really a 24/7?
So we are, at this point, our plants in Mazomania and Cross Plains run a little bit different hours, but essentially our production week starts at 10 p.m. on Sunday night, and then will end at 10 p.m. on Friday night. So the Mazomania plant works 3 shifts of 8 hours each, 5 days a week. The Cross Plains plant works a shift of 5 days a week, 8 hours per day, and then 2 shifts, 4 days per week, 10 hours per day. So there's a variety.
So calendars are important.
Most definitely.
So if somebody is looking to take a vacation day, for example, use some of those hours up, how much time in advance are they required to submit a request?
1 day.
1 day.
Yeah. So 1 day, we're very flexible. If it's someone who has a situation, a few of the days are designated to be call-in if needed. And so they would have 5 times where they could call in and use in a year. So we understand things come up.
Oh, that is very nice. It goes back to your whole, we try to be flexible.
Mm-hmm.
So how often do you guys require employee meetings? Or it sounds like you talk about in teams. So it sounds like maybe you have team meetings. I don't know if you have corporate meetings that would involve everybody or what that looks like.
So non-COVID, we have in-person quarterly meetings. So 4 times a year, we gather the full group, whether it's the Cross Plains plant or potentially Cross Plains and Mazomania together. But we usually do those separately when we're not dealing with COVID. When we're dealing with COVID, we do an email link to a video recorded message, which enables team members to find out on the status of the company, the financial statements, the outlook. And then twice a year, we're able to share bonuses. Typically with a small group, so with maybe a first level supervisor, they would have meetings once a week. although COVID brought a very quick stop to having any size of meetings over the last year. We have reached out with that video platform to team members at plants to be able to distribute information to them from their production leader. And so it's been an interesting stretch for those production managers to become obvious video stars now,
Us
but
too.
they've been able to get a lot of messages out to team members.
And you are, I keep hearing that you guys are a manufacturing plant. So do you have routine safety trainings?
We have every team member who joins PI has some individual computer-based training to complete. Some of those have a repeating cycle where they need to do them every year or every 3 years. And then we also have in-person training based on what the position's needs are, whether it's electrical or work at heights, confined spaces, any of those position-specific training pieces.
I don't know if PI has, or if they would ever consider hiring somebody who is deaf or hard of hearing. What is your experience with that, or have you experienced that?
Surprisingly, we were able to meet a young man many moons ago who not only was hearing impaired, but he had no vocal abilities. So he would communicate with us by mouthing the words. He had learned and adapted to be able to help me and his coworkers simply by mouthing words with no sound. He did very well here. We were concerned initially based on forklift traffic from a safety perspective, but at the time we learned a lot about us from learning from him.
And so I'll kind of go back to that cell phone question, is for individuals who are deaf who don't use spoken language. Sometimes like just being able to type out the text to show like a coworker, or is that an opportunity where you may consider the use of a cell phone just for communicating with team members?
It's possible. We may also go to a written ease of doing that. That would be my first suggestion. Do it low tech so as not to confuse anyone on what is an appropriate use of a particular tool like a cell phone.
And has PI ever had to use, like we have Mary here, have you ever had to use an interpreter, or have you brought interpreters ever into or needed one for?
We have not had the opportunity.
Well, you know who to come to if you ever need to know how to contact an interpreter.
I do, and I actually have a really good friend who is the clinician director at UW-Madison for audiology.
Yeah.
And so very good friend. So
it's always good to have you never know when you need to have those connections.
Right.
So what sort of specific high school courses may support somebody that wanted to come into an entry-level position at PI?
I think if someone wanted to be able to advance at PI in a variety of different areas, they may want to pursue some of the CTE, consumer and technical education, whether it might be woods or metals, or maybe a different field in the CTE opportunities. Measuring, we still use micrometers to measure certain things at an advanced level. Inspector Packer wouldn't necessarily have to maneuver that, but they would have to be able to count parts if for instance, the machine malfunctioned on a count, they would be required to do that. And to keep an open mind, be adaptable to training. That's really the key thing for for success here.
And would you say that's probably your biggest piece of advice for any student getting ready to transition out of high school, is to be flexible? And like, what would you tell those students?
I would tell those students, be prepared to be flexible and find a job you think you're going to like, because you have so many opportunities available to you that you can pick something you might actually like. Whether it is teaching children a skill or helping people in a store, if you enjoy that, focus on those skills.
What would you say is the main reason? I don't know what the retention rate is at PI, but what would you say is a big reason that people would leave the company?
So people might relocate. They might also have a certain skill that they're able to cut their commute. There aren't a lot of reasons that people generally leave PI. We have a very low turnover rate. Generally, it's 6% or other a year, which means out of 100 people, maybe 6 would leave us. But we're also, like I've said, a very giving workplace, and it's worth the trip to be able to be employed here.
And then what have you noticed as a particular frustration with kids today? Are there any things that are frustrating, or that you find maybe they haven't learned soft skills, or they haven't learned specific skills?
So I am well equipped. I think I have a 16-year-old son and a 14-year-old daughter. It really goes back to that point. Find a job you think you're going to like. Don't just take a job because it pays well. You might be miserable. I think adaptability is going to be the biggest thing. Being willing to listen, and you never know where you're going to get advice from your coworkers on doing something. Looking out for that opportunity when you see something that probably needs to be done, take the initiative to do it. The worst thing you can be told is, yeah, we don't do that. But as long as it's a safe practice, step in and have some initiative to contribute.
Yeah, I would say even that for kids, sometimes it's difficult for, I have a 14 and 13-year-old, is that accept criticism, that criticism is an opportunity for growth and an opportunity for learning, and to not get angry about it, but just sort of accept it and see how it applies.
Yep, and it isn't intentionally ill-intended. And so the person shouldn't overthink it either, just to say, okay, I goofed up. Tomorrow's a new day. Those are things in the flexibility, and not necessarily feeling like you have to own everything that goes wrong.
Let's see. I'm gonna sort of go to the skip around a little bit and just say, what is the best part, can you say, of working for this company?
From a personal perspective, even though I've been in my role for about 14 years, there is no mundane. Every single month, week, there's an opportunity to learn something new. I think in the production area, the jobs are constantly changing as far as what we're packaging. And there are many times, for instance, we manufacture things for medical use, and it's pretty exciting to be able to know that we have advanced different items, even Operation Warp Speed. Whether people are confident that was a success or not, it still was a necessary function at the time. And we're happy to say that we have been in some component part of that.
I think that's very exciting because
Mhm.
people don't often know everything that goes into it. All they see is the finished product, but they don't
Right.
necessarily know all these pieces that went into it and how critical each one of those steps are before that finished product is hanging, in a shelf or at
Yeah,
a.
most definitely.
Awesome. Well, that's all the questions I'm going to ask for today. I don't know if you have anything additional that you'd like to add or.
Um, are you typically, are high school students, are they the people who are looking at your information that you're gathering?
Yeah. So we're with the outreach program, which is part of the Department of Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction on their
Mm.
special education team. And we also, so we provide statewide support to school districts who have students who are deaf and hard of hearing in their local dual school districts. So Middleton Cross Plains, for example, could have students who are deaf and hard of hearing. And we would support the service providers in the districts serving those students. And we also collaborate with the Wisconsin School for the Deaf. And so what we're doing is putting this together so that those professionals working with transition age students can pull from a variety of different
Mhm.
employment opportunities, just to say, what are some of the similarities? What are some of the differences? Like we asked the question about cell phone policy. So they can sort of compare and see, what does that cell phone policy look like? Hey, you know what? There's a trend. The cell phone goes in the locker. Like, this is not, do not be mad when you go to PI and they say, put your phone in your locker. You see that there are
Mhm.
70 other employers that have said that the cell
Mhm.
phone goes in the
Sure.
lockers. So yeah, these are just opportunities for kids to be able to, we have Mary, our interpreter, and so it also makes it accessible for them so they can watch it on their own time if they'd like to
Okay.
learn more about the different opportunities. So yeah,
Okay.
pretty
Well,
exciting.
I think it's great. Yeah,
I'm
no,
going,
just be willing to try things and be willing safely to potentially fail without too much pain or suffering.
yeah, that is good advice.